Hello everybody, Francisco with the thedevlife. In this video, I'm going to make a small change to an application I've been working on for the last few months. We are going to add a label to each of these cards here. In myBiolink, you can go in and share different URLs. And when you do, we create a shortened URL that we call a spud. So if you want to track the hits that you've been getting on the links that you've shared, you have to go here to the top 10, and this will give you the information on the links. The problem is that it's difficult to tell which stats you are looking at. So for example, if we look at this one, I see that it was added in August 17th of 2019. This is the original URL, and this is the spot that was created for it. So if we go back here, the only way to tell is by looking at the original URL that was used to create the spot to begin with. So that's sort of difficult. It would be a lot easier if we tracked by using the description you added when you created your link here. So if we go back here, we would see another label up here with the name or the description that you gave to that spot. So let's go ahead and get started making that change. I've already have my React application open here. So let's go ahead and fire it up. Okay, so we have that running on that, localhost 3000. Let's go ahead and also fire up the API. I'm running the API on Visual Studio, and the front end, I'm running it on Visual Studio Code. So here is the local version, or the application running on the local environment. And we see that we got responses back from the local API, so I think we are good to go. Okay, so first of all, let's identify this component here. I have React tools already installed here, so I should be able to find that somewhat quickly. Here we go. Okay. Now let's see. Okay, now let's go find this component in Visual Studio Code or in the front end application. It's not it, it's this one. Okay, so it looks like we have the destination, which is the original URL, and then we have the spud. Okay, so let's add another div up here. And for now, we are going to include the description. So they should display the description here. Okay, let's see how that looks. I don't see anything. So let's look at the data that we are receiving. So okay. This is the data we are receiving, and we can see that description is null. So my hunch is that we are not returning that data back from the API. So let's clear this out and let's refresh so we can see the request being made again. Here we go. And let's go see what's being returned from the API. And yep, sure enough, we're not returning the description string from the web API. So that's a change we're gonna have to make there. Okay, let's stop it. Let's go to the controller. top. Okay, I'm calling that service here. Let's go see the implementation for that. Okay. Getting the hits here. Okay, here we go. So yeah, so here have to return an additional piece of information. We have to return a description, and we have to pull the description from the object. I think it should be as simple as that. Let's run it again. Let's force it to make that call again. Up. And yeah, so now we are getting the description from the backend. Yeah, here we go. Okay. So now why are we not seeing it here? Put it in the wrong place. Oh, maybe if I spell it correctly. Okay. Let's go check it out again. Here we go. So now we see the label that was added. So okay, so it looks like the data piece is done. So let's do a little bit of styling here. Let's just add a class to this div that we just created. Let's call it spot description. And we'll just add all the and we'll add the different styling to that class. So let's go see where that class is. Should be in styles. Here. Let's add it down here. I usually like to keep all my classes in alphabetical order. I've learned that over time it's really hard to find a class name if it's not in alphabetical order. So that's why, and I do the same thing with my methods and all the classes that I create. It just makes it easier to find stuff. So let's see, what attributes are we gonna change? We're gonna change the font weight. We're gonna make it bold. Let's change the size. Let's try 1 EM for now. We're gonna change the color. There should be a blue color, and this should have been done a little different. I should have a less file with all the variables that hold all the colors and maybe weights and font families and all that, so I can share all those variables throughout. But since this started as just a simple application that was just gonna be a POC that I put together over the weekend, I got sloppy there. So let's go ahead, let's use that color. So I suggest that you hold all your variables in one file and you share that file throughout all the other less files that you might be using in your application. Let's see how that looks. Okay. I think that might be too, the font could be too big. Oh, and then it goes to the next line. Yeah, no, we don't want that. So let's do two things here. Let's make it a little smaller. Let's make the font a little smaller. Let's try 0.8. Let's hide the overflow. And let's put ellipsis at the end. Let's see how that looks. Okay, so font is smaller. I like that size. And still wrapping for some reason. Yeah, I think I forgot a setting. Let's see. So, okay. Yeah, so we need to tell it not to wrap. Let's see how that looks. Oh, wrong one. Okay, here we go. So now we're not going on to the next line. We're just adding the ellipsis at the end, which is what I want. All right. Okay. Now that we're here, this state looks ambiguous, so let's add a label to it, or let's clarify that this is the date when this spot was created. So let's go ahead and do that. It should be an easy enough change. So we have date. So only thing we're gonna do is we are gonna create it and leave everything else the same. Let's check that out. There we go. Created and that. Now I'm noticing something. I think I want a little bit more space in between the label and the original link. Let's add a little bit of a margin at the bottom there. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We shouldn't need too much. I think maybe 5 pixels might do it. That might even be too much. Let's see. Okay, that looks good right there. Okay, I'm happy with that. All right. So we touched a little bit of the back end. We did some styling and we did some React. So I'm going to be publishing this application. Probably by the time this video goes live, the changes would have already been published. Thank you for coming along and coding with me. And if you enjoyed it, please hit the subscribe button so we can let you know when we publish the next video. Thank you. Have a great day.